Alright, back in Imagine, I have a Makami following me around, which is the flat salamander type thing from Nocturne, but not for long. I'm going to summon a Spectre, which I got at night in Ueno, which was very risky, and register him. So now my Compendium officially has 79 registrations. And at the moment, I am going to the Cathedral Shadows and do some fusing. I'm just seeing what I can fuse Spectre into with what I have so far. Looks like Solano. Okay, not a big deal. What I'm really trying to do is fuse a Kirin or an inexperienced Kirin and a disc together to get power. Unfortunately, the odds of getting a power is very, very small. Not terribly small, like about 47%, but still, that's pretty low than half yes, half no. And I also want to mention that when you fuse, what usually results is for fusion, you have to add up the number of, let's just check his stats, to add up the number of levels of the fused and fuse them together. And with that, he actually results the sum of all the levels put together will be in a certain range, and whatever range it's in is what you get as a result. So if I got, instead of a Dis, I got an Apsaris and fused that with a Kirin, I would have gotten something a little lower, like a Archangel or a Principality. At the moment, what I'm trying to do is that, well, my Mikami learned Hama as an inherited skill, and to get inherited skills, as I think I've told you this before, but I'll just remind you, then you actually have to spam the skill type on your summon. So at the moment I'm trying to teach my Kushinada-Hime, which I fused in the last video, Bufala. Now, she normally doesn't learn that, it inherited from Kikuri-Hime. The only problem is, in order to do that, in order to learn Bufala, she has to be hit repeatedly by ice spells. And I started off with Bukaboos, which are usually found here by the Yagia and Shibayo. But first, she isn't really that good at attacks, because basically with her basic attack, which I have 99 needles, she's stuck. She basically just gets stuck. So she has to get pretty close, and that's not close enough. So I'm using Recarm to just cancel out the needles. And this isn't to hurt, this is to provoke. So, unfortunately, she repeats this process. And for certain skills like Muddo, it's going to be pretty hard to learn, as well as Hama. But during the weekend when the Divines were right by Sunhausen because of the invasion, I was able to get them to spam Hama on my Oni, my Freya, my Mikami, and my Shisha to learn Hama. Muddo, it's a different story, because the only ones that really do that I know of are the Shadows, which are in Ueno, and they're pretty dangerous. And the Solanos, which are here, and they're just as dangerous as well. They're just very aggressive. So, I got a little annoyed because the spell was actually too weak to affect anything. Basically, one Bufu spam only increased her skill requirement by about 1%, so I needed a faster way. And what I did was I decided to partner up with somebody who was fighting Titanias. Now, Titania knows a skill called Absolute Zero, which is kind of like Electric Discharge for my Nui, which I use. So what I'm going to do is find the Titanias and basically what this user is doing is stirring them up a little bit, just getting them pretty provoked. And since Titania is an absolute zero is an area on effect, if I just be in a certain area, then I could be able to teach it. And I was successful actually. So much so that I actually summoned my Jatayu to teach him Bufala as well as some other skills. But it doesn't work still. Okay, I'm teaching him some basic recovery skills. Crap. And I'm gonna show you the skill that I applied. Whoops! Over here. Bufala. I'm gonna replace Dia and learn Bufala. So with that done, I got what I needed today, and I just decided to summon my Valkyrie and teach her Zyanga when she remembered mostly everything else. So I'm gonna finish this up here, and I'll see you later.